Hi, my name is Mel, and this year at Brickworld, Chicago, I brought a few of my micro builds. So my beaches was built at the end of last year, and it actually was a pretty long project that I worked on. I started the houses months before, and I had this idea of creating pine trees out of the sand green horn from Seasick Kitty, but it's such a rare piece that there was just no way that I could acquire it. There was just no way of doing that.
Only appears in like one.
It's in only one set. So luckily, through the magic of being in a lug, I've been eventually able to acquire enough to be able to finish this project, and so.
It's like a ludicrously effective like technique, and just looking at that.
Yeah, I try to, nowadays when I'm working in microscale, I actually try to make my builds around a specific part. So when I saw the sand green horn, I thought right away, hey, this is a great pine tree. And I decided that along with the Unikitty tails that look like ocean waves, I thought that it'd be a really cool scene. Kind of like in California where, you're in the beach, in one
Venice
side,
Beach, like
and you drive an hour and then all of a sudden you're in the woods or you're near snow or anything like that. And it is based off these houses in Toronto where I'm from called the Beaches, but we don't have pine trees. Well, we have pine trees in Canada, but we don't have palm trees. So it is solely inspired by those beautiful houses, but I think the highlight of the build is the Unikitty pieces that I've used, and anybody who's seen my work knows that I am a little bit obsessed with Unikitty. So taking the different parts that create the character and trying to find different ways with it is something that I for some reason I just really like doing.
That is totally cool. And so one of the things I'm always curious about is like the minifigure tends to dictate the scale at which a lot of Lego builders build at. And so doing a micro scale build like this sort of breaks out of that. What's like the one mindset that building a micro scale requires that, maybe a person who typically does like a minifigure scale cafe corner type of scale, what's like the differentiating factor in your opinion?
Honestly, I'm so new to micro scale that I can't even say like legitimately what mindset I'm in. Essentially, like I said, I
like
base
picking apart, right?
Yeah, like I base my build around a specific piece that I really like, and so if you look at my Castle in the Sky, it's based on the floating city of Laputa. I actually looked at these gears, these Technic gears, and I thought, hey, that would be a really cool building. And then I've always loved Castle in the Sky, and I got this fun little display globe thing.
Dome thing.
Yeah, for my desk, and I thought, hey, maybe this would be a fun build to do, but it was based around a part that I originally looked at and said, hey, this would be a cool part. And the same with my seasons. Like I eventually took the Unikitty tail and I brought it into a smaller scale, and then I also made it into like a waterfall, and then I added certain features like minifigure hair, like for trees.
Clown hairs?
Exactly, yeah, the clown hair and the Joker hair, and so these, honestly, these vignettes or these small scenes are inspired about a specific piece that I looked at and I saw, hey, this actually would be a really cool micro version of something that we would regularly build in minifigure scale, and I love exploring micro scale because you don't need to have a very large collection in order to be able to build with it. And that's what a lot of people who are getting into the Lego community are worried about, is that they need a large collection to make something that's fun. And the reason why I love displaying these too is that we see a lot of kids who want to get into the Lego community, but they're nervous about being able to make something fun with what they already have, and this is just an example of being able to create something with a little amount of brick, right?
Definitely. And I love sort of thinking in the mindset of that's a really cool piece, like what can we do with that? But what makes these scenes all so great is that they sort of have this really cool encapsulated the whole scene is it's in context kind of. Talk about that, formulating a scene. What's your process like?
I try to I try to keep my builds within just a few hours. I really do it based on time. I don't have the attention span to spend too much time on something, and even my large builds actually give up, and then I go back to it, weeks or months later. And so I just start building with a small, I'll try maybe an 8x8 plate, and then I'll build up from there if I think that it needs more detail. I think it's great to restrict yourself to a small scale if you want to challenge yourself as a builder, because then you have to really think about how to place things so that they're not crowded, or you're able to show this story or this scene with the right parts. Sometimes people use too much, and it kind of, the build gets lost in itself.
Definitely. Mel, very insightful. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.